Welcome in. See some viewers trickling in. Appreciate you guys being intrigued with what we have here. This is relatively new. Hopefully, a sign of things to come. But yeah, this is the first inaugural, whatever you want to term it, last dog barking roundtable. Myself and Jesse are gonna hold it down here on Twitch. Field some questions, offer some commentary, look back, Ed, and everything in between. I'm just gonna buy a little time for Jesse as he um, some housekeeping on his end. Once that's all in order, we'll proceed. Jesse's gonna kind of run things as the host here. He'll the one really steering the direction, moderating the chat, if you will, making sure that we're staying on point. If you're just tuning in, wondering who the hell's talking, if you don't know my voice by now, shame on you. I'm just kidding. Kitchen's closed. Casey, as many of you may call me, is who you're hearing right now. And once Jesse's back, I'll beg him to make me a Twitch moderator. Like the pathetic human being I am. Down? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But certainly begging for mod privileges is not past a low I'm willing to go. So yeah, I hope those of you hearing this and hearing having a good day. I've had a good week. Yo, song. Here he is. What up, champ? Oh, what? No, you're not quite champ yet. Sorry. Let's not get ahead of ourselves there. You still got to go through cool or memo. No easy task. But it's a privilege to see Black Waltz here, gathered at the trough show. And again, if you're just joining us, we hope this will be an inaugural time's a charm show, TV show, if you will. Want to get more regularly scheduled discussion content, I guess. So I guess perhaps it's more of a podcast than a TV show. But definitely a regular broadcast that encourages a discussion. So I guess the actual name of it doesn't matter. Turn on the cell phone. Yeah, we've all been there when we're at school, we're at work, we're on the train, we're somewhere out on our phone without Wi-Fi, and we're checking in. It's not always the most palatable experience, but better than nothing, right? At least the sound's usually okay. Um, Video not so much, but there's not going to be a ton going on with video, at least not yet. I know Jesse has some video highlights of the tournament queued up. Getting to at some point, as you can see on the agenda there. We're going to talk about the early rounds. We're going to talk about the tournament highlights. We're going to talk about that big matchup that just went down this past weekend between Vertex and Black Waltz. Memo versus Cool to me gave me the idea for this show today. I proposed to Jesse in a direct message, hey, do you want to do a pregame show for Memo versus Cool? And he's like, like, I like that idea because I've always, his words are paraphrasing. I've thought about doing an AOE TV show before. So he liked the pitch. But we decided to turn it into more than just a pregame show for Memo versus Cool. We're gonna have a nuanced discussion about the tournament thus far, and at the very end, we'll touch on future events. There you go. That's the kind of big picture rundown. So much Yeah, that would be a good undercard matchup. TK versus KT. Yeah. Huh? That's like undercard. You'd have Macri versus Boozer after that, and Zaz 7 versus Oja Cole. Like you can really. That one's far down though. All right, let's see. Is that Jesse checking in? Yo, there he is. The champ is here.
Just had to turn my mic on OBS and Discord. But yeah, I was actually listening to you for a minute. Feels like you don't even need me here. You can run the whole show yourself, Jesse.
People are tired of hearing me flap my gums, for an hour at a time. Like, sure they could use a break from all the hot air I provide.
Fair enough. Is Heaven China coming or?
I haven't heard back from him yet. We'll see. He's a dad like we are, so he
Yeah,
can be AFK sometimes in Discord. Fully understandable.
yeah, no worries.
That seemed like wishful thinking, though. To
Um,
get him. Bongo,
Yeah.
I tried to get because he just played cool, but he's got some religious commitments, actually.
okay.
Being the devout Muslim that he is, he's a good lad, so he couldn't come today. He had to
Yeah, fair
handle
enough.
his business. But we'll see who of the casters tunes in.
Yeah, I think
But why don't you?
Alberto said he might hop in for a bit or something.
But I see some viewers piling up, so why don't you reset the stage since you're back at the computer here?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I heard you saying about kind of suggesting why don't we do something where we just chat a little bit more about the tournament so far and just look at maybe some highlights and talk about a few more games in a little bit more detail. So yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I think it kind of adds a little bit of hype as well for the game tomorrow. So yeah,
Hmm?
this is good, and maybe we can do it regularly, or like monthly or whatever, and get a few different people on. Um, yeah, I think it's good, man. So thanks for the
Cool.
suggestion. And yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of
man.
knocked together. Sorry, I was kind of like, you're busy, you've been working a week, and same here and stuff. And I kind of knocked together a kind of very loose agenda. Um, and so yeah, we can kind of go through that a little bit and talk about the tournament, and yeah, like expand and add some new bits to the agenda if we want to as well, right? So
Yes, sir. And if you're just joining us, that's your host, Jesse speaking. I am favorite spam 19er, Kitchen's Closed, KC. And just joining us also, Alberto checks in.
That's right. I was waiting for you guys to finish. How are you doing?
hi Alberto, how you doing, man?
Thank you for joining us, sir. So, yeah, Jesse, it's 5:02. You sent out the everyone tag, introduced everyone on the chat. Why don't you get off and start breaking down those early rounds, your
Yeah, sure.
takeaways?
So I think it'd be kind of nice to talk a little bit about how the first few rounds kind of went, and just maybe pick out some results and discuss that a little bit more. So shall I put the bracket up so people can see the results so far, and then we can talk a little bit more about some of those games? Is that a good idea, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
let's
don't
get a
see why
little
not.
visual aid.
Yeah, okay, 1 second. Okay.
I'll try to, me and Alberto will try to hold down the chat for you so you can focus on the other stuff.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Since you got the screen share going, I know how much it
Yeah.
is when you got the screen share in the chat.
Yeah, so I've
Nice
got a
screen
few
share.
like screens ready to fire up, especially when we switch to some game highlights and stuff. So that's all cool.
Well, we would be remiss if we didn't start with breaking down the play-in round between you and Alberto, right?
I mean, it
Yeah,
was the first game, so it only makes sense, right?
wait, can
Ah,
we skip that one actually and move on?
you're not wheezing out of that one. I remember those games well. You definitely should have won at least one of those games, Jesse. That second one really was hard to watch.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Alberto, credit you played really smart in the islands game. The first game I played very cagily. I think I was a little bit rusty. Probably first
Yeah.
game of the tournament, first game like me getting back into DE a little bit, and so yeah, you just swept me aside in that game. The second game, I felt like I definitely had a lot of momentum at one point, but you know when I watched the replay, you just really did some smart moves. You landed me. I couldn't get you off my island. I tried, but I just couldn't. And you built some really strategic towers along the shoreline when you
The
lost the
shore.
sea. And so,
Yeah, which you should have done.
so yeah, but you
You're
played smart.
Roman.
What are your thoughts
Towers,
on that
man.
game?
Well, I think that that island game, like definitely, like you say, it was a rough one. Like it showed that I kind of still lack on the part of exploration, because it caught me very off guard. Like the how do you call it, the private sea that I got.
Yeah.
Like when I noticed it way too late, and I was, oh shit, I should have just boomed to bronze or something. And I think like this kind of in AoE1, the problem is that you get one thing wrong, and sometimes it just snowballs if you get a bit nervous.
Yeah.
And like I told Jesse that in tournaments I get very nervous. So sometimes like you just don't think straight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it definitely like the more tournament games you play, you start to just get used to it. But there's definitely a difference between hopping in and playing a
Hmm.
casual team game to playing in a tournament game. Even if you think, oh, I'm not going to be nervous, you know, just playing people I know or whatever, and it's just a bit of, you know, just for fun and stuff. Actually, when you're about to sort of launch, you're like, oh shit, here we go. People are actually watching this, and my yeah, I'm under the spotlight a little bit.
Yeah, and even in like, because it's a tournament, like you can't, like you have that feeling of like, if you're not gonna win, at least make yourself look good, right? Like not just don't just die like
Yeah,
so easily. Like
that's a good point.
that's why we see something that, oh, the game is over, but we see players trying, and it's more than, trying to do something despite
Yeah,
the odds.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You don't want to go out like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when I watched the replay back, KC was like furious with me that I didn't land you. He was like, I just can't. He's like,
Sorry.
only Jesse knows this logic why he's not landing, you know, Alpha. You
Hmm.
know, only he knows the reason why. He's like really mad at me for that. But yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
KC.
because you worked so hard to like win that sea early, and like yeah, there's nothing he could have done to stop a landing. Could have established a foothold with cheap towers as Roman and his land. Like I was waiting for it. It never happened.
Yeah, it's just I've got no
And he
explanation to
was,
give. I
and
should
there
have
was a
jumped in.
It
moment
happens,
where he
man.
was
Shit happens
winning.
is the explanation.
Yeah, and I remember that there was a moment like where he was winning, like he started to push me back,
Yeah,
and and
And
I kind of got scared, like it's, oh no, this is the end. But kind of snapped out of it and was able to mass compies, like make ranges on the back and bring the shapes together. And they said, okay, we need this. I need this to work, and
yeah,
it worked.
exactly.
another key moment in that game was when Jesse lost like all of his long swordsmen. That was pretty much the end of the game that happened.
Yeah.
Jesse, if you could have reconsolidated there and maybe cleaned out your land, could have pulled that one out.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's a good game, man. It's a nice little start to the tournament, right? I thought it was kind of nice
Yep.
to kick the start, and we did well to schedule same day, right? Tournament starts, we
Now,
scheduled and playing the same day,
Yeah,
so
we're pretty fast on that one actually.
exactly.
cheers to that one. I didn't catch any of Easy Bro Tavans. Did either of you catch those?
I watched them with in Hobbit stream. The problem is that in that game, the games were cut off because he was like with 10 minutes of delay. So like literally all the games are inconcluded.
I see. Yeah, sometimes that happens. So yeah,
I
I
saw
don't
it.
have a ton.
Yeah, the first game I think Toa won that one, but then Easy Bro came back quite convincingly in the next couple of games.
Mhm. I think, like for example, I noticed that in the tournament setting, like people try to play like in the casual side. Like I saw in the first game, Easy Bro like really literally run away from his base and went somewhere else without really any major resources, and he was just like farming, like easily taking his time, getting some slingers, and on all that time, 12 months already had an army and already had farms and everything. So it was a slow and painful day, I would say.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's kind of round one's best of three. Probably the right decision just to kind of, there's kind of preliminary rounds, I guess, before
Hmm.
the main tournament kind of gets going and stuff. Um, let's have a look at the bracket again.
So yeah, that certainly went as it should have. Easy Bros the better player, so
Yeah.
worth noteworthy as well.
Yeah. And one standout game for me in that, well, there's actually a few, I guess, but the Morik Genie game was very close.
Yeah,
Genie
Hmm.
played exceptionally well, and yeah, he could have taken the whole set, and so I think that was really good. That was one of the very early kind of close sets that
yeah,
everyone saw, and I think that actually set the tournament up quite nicely. It's not necessarily
agreed.
all going to be 3-0 sweep, so yeah, that's decent.
Yeah, I predicted that outcome, but I thought Morek would take it handily. Evidently brought it strong.
Yeah, we did well.
And Albert, any thoughts you want to share on what went down with the VNS School there at the top of the round two bracket?
Well, what can I say despite the obvious? Like,
Yeah,
from the beginning, it's kind of tough because, like, it's pretty hard. Like, pretty hard to beat someone with that level of expertise. And I mean, I still wanted to try, of course. But I remember I actually got a lot of help from the guys. Like, for example, Black Wolves was helping me out and Vertex to 1v1. So we train a lot and practice and talking along the way, like, oh, I tried this. Why should I have done this? And you should have gone to the sound and shit like that. So little by little, like I started to feel more polished. And in the end, I didn't do much because I still like lost 3-0.
yeah.
But again, there was also the factor that it was a tournament, so you get nervous, and I start getting. I actually drank beer like 2 beers before getting started,
Oh my
because
god.
I was feeling like, oh my god, and he's gonna beat my ass. But actually, when I continued playing, like in the first game, I was scared shit. Then in the second game, I was more calm, and in the third one, I actually started to feel like I could win, but I
Mm,
didn't.
it's called liquid courage right there.
Yeah, like it was forming inside the courage was forming.
I mean, not the worst strategy. Sometimes I feel like I play better when I drink, so I can't blame you there. What's up,
Yeah, and
Magma?
I could maybe if I had like continued to boom instead of trying to attack, I believe I could have won like directly in a bronze game, because in the third game, like I think yes, Jesse's sharing it right now. Like the third game, I got their river very early on, and that's pretty good because he was Minoan and I was high tide, so I had control of that river all that time, and instead of trying to
Yeah,
boom, like get quick to iron or something and finish him off, I started to make chariots. And in retrospective, maybe that was not the best call, because he just spammed the composites and he started to
yeah.
overwhelm me little by little.
He's such a machine, isn't he? I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
discuss Cool a bit more like later on, but it's
Yes.
amazing
Mhm.
how in games like that, you've got the river, and in theory you should now be starting to step up control of the game a little bit. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's just these top players, they know how to very quickly adapt into their
Yeah.
like fallback position, and yeah, they certainly don't make things easy at all.
Yeah, it's a matter of experience, really. Like for me, it was like a Like I was getting excited because I won the river, and for him probably was Tuesday.
Mhm.
There was also
Yeah.
another really good game. The Bob's vs Bongo game set was like really good. The game that Bob's won was very interesting because like Bob's was in Tool for absolutely ages, and
Mhm.
Oh
Bongo
yeah, I know which one. Yeah.
he was running around the map with like 8 to 10 cav like for about 20 minutes, just trying to kill as much as he could, and he did kill a lot of Bob's villagers, but Bob's managed to just survive and keep like adding army and tool. He just never had enough to get to bronze himself until like much later on. But yeah, that was kind of interesting set.
What's up, easy bro? Yeah, Bubs is very sneaky. Give him that. He learned that of all those years playing AoE on Voobly.
Yeah,
More of
but
a
like
sneaky game over there in 1.0.
the amount of tool army he had was very insane, and like I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever seen that many bowmen and axemen in
look at the. You can
like
see it here.
standing in your base, just
Yeah.
waiting for like, yeah, we're ready, boy, bring it.
And this is on 2.0 as well, so just like the nature of that speed of like raids that were going on when Bogo did get in on Bubs, Bubs was able to like just keep massing the tool units and stuff. It was quite a funny game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then
I should put that one in the highlights. Now that I think of it.
and then I think Bongo. There was a couple of longer games as well, but Bongo, yeah, I think he just dominated like sort of at a certain point in those games and started to take control, I guess. But yeah, that was a nice set as well. I think there's some really decent sets in round one. Black Waltz versus Unrestricted. And of course, Unrest went 2-0 up. And, we're talking about Black Waltz now in the final. And he's the start of this tournament, he was 2-0 down.
One more note on Bongo. Bubs, that's a tough draw for Bubs in the first
Yeah.
round to get Bongo. Like for a level that Bubs is at, like it's unfortunate. Maybe just a few more players in the tournament. Bubs will get a much more favorable draw in the first round. Perhaps advance. Instead, he gets Bongo, man. Like, good luck.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
from
tough
Bongo's
tournament.
screen, how strong he is.
It's a very tough
He
tournament.
he still hold his ground though. Like he was not a stump.
Yeah,
What one would expect.
yeah, exactly.
No, not at all.
Without
Yeah.
saying.
Guys like Bubs are getting old, though, man. I'm pretty sure Bongo's about half his age. So, like, it's hard.
Like
Pimply faced, Wonder Kid, like running circles around you. Is this the game you're talking about with the Tool Army? Holy shit.
No, so the game with the Tool Army was the one before. But yeah, this is maybe
Similar.
similar, but Bongo managed to get a little bit, kind of more cav kills and like eco in this one. But the game before was the one
Bongo.
where it went on for ages
oh my god, total
It's
with
just
murder.
so disheartening seeing Cavs shred your Tool Army. Trust me, I've been there many times. It's just like, fuck me, dude.
That- now that you mention, for example, about the old players, like I wonder if like if these players kind of know like the new hotkeys or properties that has AOE. Like
Yeah.
I know they don't have much things new, but there are still useful things like the new hotkeys or select all buildings or select all barracks
Yeah,
or
man. Absolutely. It's a great point, Albert. I was watching Brainy Smurf's thing
Mhm.
that he shared, and you can see he's still doing HC by hand. He's not taking
GC.
advantage of those hotkeys, to your point.
Yeah, I think for example in YQ streams, like I see he goes
Yes.
for the barracks and I don't think he even clicks on the idle villager button. Like he looks for them,
Yeah. He doesn't use
which
attack
is
move either.
painful.
Yeah. No, he doesn't use attack move. And even I, use underusing attack move for a long time until recently. So, yeah, good points, Albert.
Like, those little things really add up.
So Summers has asked where the schedule for the game. There is a semi-final tomorrow. Yeah, Call vs Memo at 15 GMT. And I think FDIS is casting that. And Vertex is hopping in with him, so like a co-cast. So I can link the Twitch stream for that. But yeah, that should be pretty epic.
Well, I think FDs and Vertex and
Yo,
that is one
Jesse,
extra
can
task,
you?
right?
Sorry to interrupt, Jesse. Can you make me mod so I can pin some of this comedic gold that's going down in the chat here, by any chance?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, mate.
Thanks, no rush.
I've never ever made someone mod before, so I'm sure.
Okay, you don't have to then. I'm not worthy of
No,
special.
just a simple
Nice.
cutthroat.
Yes. Is Dutch Peeler here so I can ban him? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
And
I've
KT.
banned and unbanned that guy from my stream like 10 times probably over like 5 tournaments.
So, we want to break down the memo Hobbit one now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
I casted that one, so I certainly have plenty to say. What did you guys catch those games? I mean, I've already casted it, so you guys see them? What
I did see a
yeah,
bit. I can't remember it that much.
I always watch them because since I'm the one editing them and posting them in YouTube, like I have to. I always watch them to make sure that I'm not missing anything, or something gets by. But actually,
biggest takeaway from that matchup for me was Hobbit had a really good map in Game 3, like an unbelievable map, just like amazing shorefish, but just couldn't take advantage of it and beat Memo. So it was a little frustrating.
I can see here he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's so many shorefish, man. So many shorefish. But look at that.
11.
Not here, but a little later in the game, he built a dock on the edge of the map to stay safe, but like it was like a useless dock, a waste of 100 wood. Yeah, I think he should have just pitted the other shorefish right there. He was so much better off. He probably could have overwhelmed Memo. And that's just like a telltale example, if you will, of just like better players will take advantage when they get a map like that. Like Ivor's not quite up there. Just couldn't take advantage of a god map.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, Jesse taking the vills off the berries. Like he's just so sloppy.
I think like the reason here is like you get in that like Minoan mentality. Like you have because we know the ships are cheap and Minoans are pretty strong in the water. Like you wanna go like, oh, I need water. So that's why sometimes people make more docks than what you actually need.
Yeah, he's probably like, oh, I'm in I need to make dock. But it's like, no, you don't, dude.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You got a trillion shorefish there. Just make another pit and Axeman and kill Memo. Like, take advantage of your god map.
It kind of sounds like something I'd probably do, but yeah. But I think with Minnow as well, there are some times when it's better to go camel, maybe early on, very early bronze. But there's always just that temptation to try and get that mass of compies, isn't it? But yeah, it's situational, I guess. But
I mean, like in Conti, it's very hard to go bronze, in my opinion. Like this is a very aggressive map, so I would just get a lot of like. I understand getting in water, like maybe get some fishing boats early, but yeah, you want to get those axers out, like a lot of axers. I think he didn't even get the axe upgrade. Did he? Let me check the video real quick.
By the way, there's a couple of people saying they can't see the highlights.
I can see.
I see them. Yeah, I don't understand what they're talking about. It sounds like a personal problem. No offense to those people, but it sounds like their devices are lagging or their internet's lagging. Because you're good to me, buddy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap when I'm switching it, just because like rather than you seeing me fiddle around clicking on the different links and stuff, but I'm trying to get the highlights back up for each game we're talking about and stuff.
See, that was the kind of takeaway for me. Like, you know, Memo should have beat Hobbit, but Hobbit really should have won that last game. But instead he didn't, and now Memo's still undefeated going into this matchup with Cool.
Yeah, but Memo has always been a very strong player. Like,
Yes.
like no shame in getting 3-0 by him.
No, definitely not. Touche.
There's a couple of well, we haven't even talked about the 3 massive games in round 2: Quang versus Alligator, Say My Name v Hardcore, and Blackwell versus Unrest. I mean, they
Yes.
were massive games. Quang v
Yes.
Alligator.
Oh, I
Oh
remember
my God, I remember watching that live, just thinking, geez, I had no idea who was going to win that last game. Honestly.
that Narrows one also too was pretty intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Remember,
those are
like
three
this.
headliners. That's I think it was intentional that we saved them for last. Let's start with I think most surprising outcome of round 2, which is Hardcore doing away with Say My Name in 4 games. I mean, that one really stunned me.
Yeah.
That's the most stunning result of the tournament.
Yeah, that was insane. Let me just get the highlights of that.
Say My Name was also like pretty rusty. Like it showed that he was
Yeah,
kind of
must have
rusty,
been.
but
He must have been because I've watched his DE stream many times years
Mhm.
ago, and this guy was a magician.
Yeah, he said I couldn't remember what specific. He said he was having some specific issue with something, but I don't know. I think it wasn't like a deal breaker though. He still won a game, and but yeah, maybe it just was putting him off a little bit, being a bit rusty as well. But yeah,
I
Hardcore won the
remember it
first game.
was.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. You can finish.
No, it's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I just remember that how funny it was that Say My Name opened up to like one tile of his base. Like he wanted to go out, and in that exact moment, like the Hardcore's army just got in because he was right in the front, and he did not even need to hit on the walls. Say My Name opened up for him.
Yeah, suicidal.
It's always humiliating when that kind of shit happens.
Yeah.
It's like the game is so hard and we're all smart, but you do something like that, you feel like such an idiot.
Yeah, like we saw it with even like Black Bolt versus Vertex. We saw how
Yeah, we
Vertex
did.
was losing
Uh-huh.
because of the damn narrows. Like the crossings were just fucking it up.
And one tile mistake can just make you look so foolish. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why did we all choose this stressful ass game to play again?
Yeah,
Just play
it's
freestyle or some shit.
AoE 1 is such an unforgiving game, isn't it? You know, it's like it's not like other RTS games where there's always like you make a mistake, you can quickly rectify it, but
Mm-hmm.
AoE 1, you make a fucking mistake and that's it.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes it's like, yeah. That's why it is so much suspense when you see like a quick wall coming in at the very like critical moment and stuff, or them like not getting the quick wall in time.
Or like when X-Men one single X-Men gets in and you're like, oh shit. Like you
Yeah.
know that's gonna be trouble.
But yeah, Hardcore had Say My Name on the run. I mean, in this last game, like you can see Say My Name's villagers. They're just, I think they even get cornered quite a bit towards the end, but
Ah yeah.
yeah. And then out of
And he
desperation,
and
he even ended up in Hardcore's base, and 30
mm-hmm.
minutes into the game was trying to bone some buildings or something. It was quite funny. But yeah, it's be good to see if Say My Name plays in like next tournaments and stuff.
I remember seeing like that third game where he was like with the bone and running all around the map.
Yeah.
And like I knew he was dead, like, oh, this is a bad, but I also kind of wanted it to work, you know? Like maybe this can come up useful, but nah. It's a shame. It's a fun third game, I would say.
Yeah, disappointed because I personally put Say My Name as a 2 seed in this tournament, and yeah, so that was a big shock to me. That outcome, such a decided outcome.
Yeah. Um, and what was the other one? Is Black Waltz versus Unrest, right? So
Yeah, Reverse sweep.
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying earlier, like, Black Bolt's wonder how he felt, you know? He's really, I guess, like, pumped for the tournament, and first
Mm-hmm.
set in, he's 2-0 down.
Yeah, and credit to Song's intestinal fortitude, like not being shaken, standing his ground, and winning 3 straight. Which to look ahead, he would do again against Vertex, win 3 straight to
Yeah.
finish off Vertex. So Black Waltz is one of those guys when he gets on a roll, like good fucking luck. Like he's got like no holes in his game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you
Um,
can like remember, like for example, in the games, like with the slinger battles, I think it shows like the crucial how crucial the patience is sometimes. Like you can see in the
yeah,
first game, like he trying to go out and then he gets overwhelmed and dies because Unrest had some barracks in the back with a hill. And then we see a similar scenario, I think, in game 3, where they go to hill country. And again, like Black Bolt is completely surrounded, but like he's taking his base completely safe, gets a lot of numbers, get his time, gets farms, and then he pushes like crazy, like with a lot of slingers.
Just gonna remove
damn.
the sound alerts.
Yeah, I mean, if this tournament's been a referendum on anything, it's the importance of slingers and
The
being
slinger
able to
battle,
play that game.
yeah, and having pages and picking your battles and know how to when to use them and shit. Like,
Yep.
there's a lot to
Getting your.
learn from these videos, from this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Watching this tournament has really got me thinking about my game a lot. I agree.
I think we have seen some games though that have proven that. I mean, it's kind of obvious if you can overrun sort of those early slingers, you know, with axe. But we've seen some games where people have got a decent amount of slingers, but they've just then kind of been split up, or they've been not really been effective,
Yeah.
and the axe have been running
Mm-hmm.
around all over and just wreaking havoc and stuff. So we've seen a couple of games like that. It's been quite interesting to see. High risk going axe versing, but obviously if you've got the momentum, the early like aggression initiative, you can pull it off. Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, I mean the slingers, they're not a hack. At the end of the day, you got to control your army,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and these top players excel at that. Why the matchups have been so compelling. You can see, both players like controlling their army with precision and like multiple engagements. It's a lot of fun. Some of
Yeah.
these games,
And this game
but
4, Black Waltz was really cornered in. I thought Unrest would um, maybe take this game. Actually, I thought he was going to win this game, but Unrest managed to have a decent eco and defend this. Black Watts managed to have a decent eco going, managed to defend his position, and then eventually he pushed out in force. And yeah, but I thought that was
Yeah,
touch and
that's
go for him at one point.
yeah, looking at this, I'm surprised he won this game.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
pinned
This
down
is
like
what I
that
mean.
and
Like,
not lose your zeal.
he kept he stuck to his gun. He kept being patient and just started messing up the slingers big time.
yeah. And the last game, Black Watts just had a much superior eco. But
Actually,
Unrest played well.
in
To be fair, he played really well. But there's a really good set. There's a really close set.
actually, I
Unrestricted
remember.
has an extremely high ceiling. I mean, say what you want about his game, but you like those players with high ceiling so that they can, take out a player of Black Bolt's caliber.
Yeah, exactly.
But Unrest needs to work.
This game alone, like this last one that Jesse's showing in high tide, is the reason why I picked Rivers and went high tide against Cool in the third game. Like, like when I saw this and said, okay, if I take control of the river, I can I can boom and outboom him and do something about it. But I'm not Black Wolves at the end of the day. But it was a nice reference, like a new learning thing, like a new strat that I can try.
Certainly no shame in losing 3-2 to Black Wolves if you're Unrest. And again, similar to Bubs, that's just Unrest is a pretty good player, and that's a tough draw in the first round.
Yeah.
Black Wolves, like oof.
Yeah, it's a really brutal tournament. So yeah, hopefully we'll do some more tournaments with a few more balanced games for more people. But this one was just an out and out single elimination knockout, and yeah, it's tough. It's very tough. So
Tough
very
deal
good
for
players who were
Unrest.
knocked out early. Yeah.
I was happy to see Unrest join. I mean, I know he's been active in RTR a lot. Been a champion of that game, so I was happy to see him participating and just. Oh yeah, thanks for participating. Here you go, Black Welts, round 1.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. I mean, we do actually appreciate everyone that turned out, and I think it's really, really good
100%.
tournament experience. And we definitely couldn't do any tournament without people turning up and playing. And yeah, like there's going to be different types of tournaments, and I know Alberto has got some ideas and really good ideas, and yeah, team tournaments or tournaments with more balanced structures and formats and stuff. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I want to see how that how that idea works, Jesse. Like what I was talking to you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you revealing that at some point. And this game, the Quang vs Alligator, this Oasis game went on for quite a while, and Alligator was trying as hard as he could, but yeah, Quang stayed strong.
Yeah, I don't think I watched all those games, but the games I did watch were quite compelling. To argue this is like the most even matchup of the first round.
Yeah,
It was also the game that it took like 2 separate days, I believe, like because
Yeah.
had to leave.
Yes.
That's always a hassle, but it's nice
Yeah,
that it was
Alligator
finally
was getting ready to knock over his king, and like
hmm
I got with Jesse, I'm like, dude, like, come on. And Alligator, to his credit, he played it out, and he won another one.
this is also one of the best games of the tournament. Maybe even the tournament, or certainly round 2. The islands. Is this Narrows? It's got one crossing, I guess.
Yeah, that's Narrows. That's the game that I was talking about. That was pretty intense because I believe like Alligator lost the water and Kwang was going crazy.
Yeah.
But like Alligator was going slingers and he was defending with Axeman. It was a mess. It's
Yeah.
a back and forward.
Sorry, I'm realizing that I'm watching it on my screen, but there's like a 30-second delay for some reason. It's showing on the stream, so maybe you guys, I'm talking about something and you guys aren't even seeing it yet on the
All
screen.
good. The viewers will figure it out. They're smart. Well, most of them are smart, not KTAOE.
Smart dogs.
Sugarinos.
And if you're just joining us, as I see we're up to 20 viewers now, this is the first annual, inaugural, whatever, last dog barking roundtable discussion as we look back at the matchups of the tournament. I'm KC, hosted with the English accent that you hear, of course, is Jesse, and we're also joined by Alberto.
That's right.
English accent, is that accurate, Jesse?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, just making sure. I never double checked their ancestry. So I
Yeah. Yeah, I've got
want to sound like a
What
dumb
game?
nothing to hide,
American.
man.
What game was this? Like after Alligator and Kwang? Like which matchup?
You rounded out the second round, I think, right?
Yeah, I think we have it.
That
Yeah, the
was it.
second
That was.
round. The 2 games. They were 2 separate games later.
So just
That
put the
Conti
bracket
was
back up.
pretty quick.
I'm sorry, Vertex and Easy Bro. We didn't think I saw any of those. Some of these matchups I did not catch. I apologize. So
The
I
Vertex
mean,
and
they're in
definitely
the
Easy
all.
YouTube,
Bro.
so you can catch them up anytime.
I think I did see it. I think Vertex won pretty convincingly, but yeah, again, like Easy Bro, he got a win in round one, and then his next opponent Vertex is tough times. But
Yeah, I would have guessed that he could have found a way to salvage one game, but Vertex is tough.
yep.
Artist is too tough, yeah. And like, is it like if Easy Bro like still has some things to learn in the MB 1v1 scenario because he took a lot of time like exploring and maybe more defensive route would have been safer for him. It's a matter of experience, really.
Be right back 1 second, guys.
You learned that the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah. This is I think it's really good the pickers we've been using as well. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
showing an example of that right now, just in case anyone's wondering. So I know like when we did the Battle Royale tournament, just to make it easy because it was a 2v2 and just so like people wouldn't get confused or it's just basically just to simplify it, we just did random map, random civ, but this is definitely
Mm-hmm.
more competitive. Players get one ban option, they then get one hidden pick. So in theory, they could pick the same civ in the first pick, and then after that first pick, it's revealed what civ they chose, and then basically they're left fighting it out for the remaining civs. But yeah, I think using the pickers is really good. The map picker as well. Highland is always the first game, just by default. But I think it's been interesting to see the different maps that and civs people have played and selected and stuff.
It would be pretty interesting to see like how people are like selecting like the civilizations and the bands and the map selection. Like maybe some players feel more comfortable in certain maps or this civ's stronger. Like if I'm pretty sure that if we take the time to get that information, like analyze it, we could get some nice result like as to what civilization people prefer or for what matchups.
Yeah, yeah. We did that once actually on a Return of Rome tournament at the end of the tournament. um, because I have no life and I had the time to do it. Well, I do have a life and I don't always have the time, but yeah, anyway, I went through all the pickers and like did a spreadsheet to see, like the most popular ones and stuff. But yeah, maybe we can get a player perspective one day who can come on and just give us their opinion on stuff. I mean, some of them are obvious, right? But you do get
Yeah.
people choose Palmy, and some people are very like don't not confident playing Palmy, but a lot of the top players really like Palmy and they can work it really well. So
Yeah, no, if we could try doing it to see like if we got the time, post it in a video or do a stream or something.
yeah,
Definitely something people would enjoy and maybe even learn.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's round two wrapped up, which has taken way longer than expected. uh, so
We
we might as well continue, I guess, and just do these next 5 games briefly, and then
yeah.
talk a little bit about tomorrow's game, and then just wrap things up. I guess if you guys are right with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So what one do we want to look at first?
Um, maybe Blackwood versus Victor Hardcore. Oh no, we already saw that one. I don't know. Do anyone you want?
Oh, 1 second. Yeah, so this game, so we haven't looked at this one. So Black Waltz, this is an example I was saying about. Oh no, wait, it was on the Conti game. I think Black Waltz when all that acts. But yeah, this is Yeah, a pretty good win for Black Waltz because obviously Hardcore coming fresh off his victory against Say My Name,
Mm.
probably felt he was in with a chance of winning this as well. This game was unfortunate for Hardcore. He didn't re-wall part of his
Yeah.
base. It's really frustrating to be watching and seeing that.
Find it funny that even Blackwell was farming in his base, like in Red's base. That's the ultimate disrespect.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's a say my name move. That dude would like farm anywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was I would love watching him do that.
Game 2, Hardcore, just really dominant in C. Very, very smooth start and smooth strategic play from him. Obviously, he had Minoan, used it to his advantage. Game 3, Black Waltz went all out axe. Hardcore was just on the run pretty much the whole game. Well, actually, he was kind of boxed in a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Problem here is that Blackwell was way too aggressive and didn't let uh, didn't let Hardcore mass anything. So
Yeah,
the more time it takes, the more extras were appearing, and they never stopped.
exactly.
Yeah, and you don't love the tower strategy in general, but with Roman, it can definitely work.
Yeah,
Situational, yeah. I kind of like in the shores. It can also be helpful sometimes, but
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying
in
earlier, Jesse, in your game versus Albert, if you could have just, done a couple of watchtowers on the coastline to stay abreast of what was going on in your land, like could have won that one, man.
the only thing I'll say to that, KC, is could have, would have, should have.
Yeah, true that. Always like that in RTS. Could have, would have, should have. Got nothing. That's airtight.
But yeah, this game was actually maybe similar to your one, Albert, when you took control of the river against Cool,
Mhm.
and Hardcore did the same here. He took the river, he took control. He looked like he was going to build up a better economy. Black Waltz transported over, and Hardcore just maybe underestimated how many units Black would basically just keep spamming and annoying, and eventually he broke through. And I think Hardcore built a few bow to defend. Maybe thought that might be enough, but Black had other ideas basically, and then Hardcore never really recovered.
Like I was surprised that in this game he didn't try to get into his shore. Like he had ships in there, and there was a perfectly
Yeah.
nice wood, plentiful of wood at 12. So he could have put a pit there and pretty much get all the wood he needed with his ships protecting him. But he didn't go that way. Like I was screaming, go to the left, go to the left, dude. Just complicating things. But
And this game looks like a slot fest. I'm just looking at that mini map, and the colors are everywhere. It's just like, wow. 1v1 is such a trip.
Yeah.
Every tile of real estate tested, and it's all your responsibility.
And the last game, Hardcore had a really, really decent map, but
mhm.
it's easy for me to say watching. I was hoping he was going to wall up and go to bronze because there was parts of the map you could double layer. But then it became like his own prison because Black Waltz surrounded the whole map and boomed up and hit Iron. Yeah, just overwhelmed him.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a
Like game
smart play
four.
by Blackwell to spam army and know that his control chosen will not be able to stop him.
Yeah, but Black Bolt's APM is like madness. Like you get distracted a
Yes.
little, and he does a lot. Like you cannot let him rest. You have to keep him busy with anything because if he does, he just goes crazy
Yeah.
either with the economy or the military. Like he just gets a lot of numbers. You don't know. You don't
Yeah.
even know where.
Yeah. So Black Hardcore just couldn't hang with Black Bolt's power. Moving on to the Memo Morek matchup. I didn't see a ton of that. It was over so fast. I blinked and it was over. I'm just kidding, but probably the second most surprising outcome, maybe tournament for my money.
Yeah.
See someone as strong as Morek get swept like that.
Yeah, I
I
was
think one of the
watching.
things like,
No, go for it, man. Go.
I was just thinking like one of the main issues, like I see sometimes that maybe Morek doesn't like wall. Like I know it's kind of sound like a minor detail, but I feel like he could have been a lot safer if he had a little bit more of walling, take the time to wall a bit and focus on the economy. Maybe he goes too aggressive sometimes.
Yeah, possibly. I think in just checking this. I'm not sure if my stream is, for some reason I'm seeing stuff a lot quick.
And
I'm
so we want to
changing stuff
complain
on
for
OBS, but
Morek.
it's not updating on the stream until a minute or so later.
Right.
Can you see the game
See
at the
it.
moment? Can you see the highlights?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see just
I
fine,
got
man.
you, buddy.
Okay, fine. So I've been replaying some games during the day, just like because sometimes I work from home and I just have a stream running in the background. And I was watching this one today, and I saw people saying like GG, 1-0 Morek, 1-0 Morek is easy win or something like that. Not really easy win, but they basically thought Morek had this game. There's a point where Morek was in Memo's base, and it looked really not great for Memo, but
Mm-hmm.
he dealt with it, and yeah, he then pushed out and took control of the game. And like you said, Morek was then open.
Yeah, and you can see that like when Memo regained control with the Chariot Archers, like Memo was, you could say, stuck in his base. He was camping the composites, so he couldn't really do anything else. And because he was open, they could come from anywhere. So
Yeah,
maybe not being completely walled, but closing a little some gaps could be always be useful.
yeah,
Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean it's hard when you're dealing with Macedonian hoplites and you're with archers. You really got to have good army control, but of course Memo has that.
Oh, that one was the second game, that Mediterranean game. It was as soon as I saw the more was painting at Memo was already walled. Like I said, oh, this is gonna be GG.
Well, just looking at the mini map, also looks like
Mm-hmm.
Memo was spawned right next to the water with Hittite.
And he was safely covered with like 3 forests. So.
Yeah, man. Oi. Yep, and he bronze first. GG. Another
Mm-hmm.
thing noteworthy about this matchup, I mean, watch Morek, he's got a tile here where the farm's not perfect, a tile there, and you look at Memo as precision. Such a precision to Memo's game, and you're Morek, you're taking tiles off, cutting corners, however small those corners are, they're going to start fucking adding up when the other guy's a machine with his precision.
yeah. And I think this set
That's how
had
you get swept.
yeah, this set had one of the games of the tournament as well. So for me, this Highland game or Hill Country, whatever it is for me was one of the best games of the tournament so far. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, this was an epic game, and they both
Yeah,
got
and,
to
I,
iron,
and
and there was a lot of iron fighting, and we haven't seen that regularly, and so that was really nice.
mhm.
Yeah, I must have missed this one. I didn't see Giant fighting either.
And I remember thinking that Morik had this. Like it was just like the snowballing was starting to grow a little too much, and Morik went horse archers, but was not getting much value out. I was thinking he was gonna switch to elephants, but he was making catapults, but not really doing much with them. Uh, like
It's
on
hard, man. When you're
mem.
versus Roman, it's palmy. I don't know what you can make. If you went elephants, Morik could have countered with sense if you needed to.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of options. Like lots of things could have happened, but it's hard, man.
I think
It's hard to
Memo
win
did,
this scenario.
yeah, like Memo did really well to just constantly delay, because I think Morik did have the momentum. I do remember Memo losing a lot of Legion in this game, but he just kept spamming them. He kept delaying Morik,
Mhm.
and eventually the Roman power just sort of took over, I think. And one thing I noticed as well with Memo in this game is how he would. There were times where I would be looking at the situation thinking he needs to bring all his army back, but he would be constantly sending a few sort of groups of units just to harass Morik's base a bit and just keep
Mhm.
Morik a little bit busy at home still.
Yeah, that's the luxury of going legions. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
That
I also remember
and
like, and yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying they're cheap and they're strong, of course. You know, with that extra attack speed.
Hmm. One, like I was gonna say, like one important aspect here is that despite all the attacks and from coming from Morik, like Memo kept the calls from Metal to himself. Like he was getting control of the calls, which is something I think could have held Morik a bit
Yeah.
more. Like killing,
Yeah.
sending horse archers. There's a few of them in each goldman, and you can clean them up.
Towering it. It's like the one advantage you have as Palmy is you have towers. He doesn't.
That is true.
But yeah, that's the prime real estate by the gold, especially on these maps where there's no water. So that's certainly duly noted there, Albert.
So I
It's
was
hard to
Yes.
believe he
hoping.
didn't win a game. I mean, as strong as Memo is, like Morik is pretty damn strong himself.
Yeah, we sometimes
Wins-
like forget the scale of these players. Like everyone, everyone here is like pretty good in here, and sometimes with these stumps, you forget that you make them all like new players in some scenarios.
And you can see people talking shit on me in the chat in the stream.
Oh, that last game was painful. Those X-Men getting all the kills.
And what else? We had the epic set between Vertex and Quang.
Oof, that was the longest one I have edited, I think.
Yeah, 3
Like over
hours, 20 minutes.
Wow.
three
Jeez.
hours, 20 minutes, man. Took a lot
Yeah,
of time to
I
compile.
think that was the highlight of the tournament thus far. Dare I say?
Yeah, this is the best set of the tournament for sure.
Um,
Absolutely epic.
I remember liking this game of island game, like the Vertex landing the Greek player, like, and he had control of the calls. Like I was very hyped, like, oh my god, you're gonna win this. But the spam of bowmans from Huang was so insane. No
Can you
goal,
see
no
the
problem.
replay on the stream? Is it showing?
yes.
Yeah, yeah, I'm actually seeing the game. That's what I remember, the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
island
yeah,
game.
yeah. It's just because there's a delay on. Yeah, okay, no, that's fine. But yeah, so amazing set. Wow, it's like
Yeah.
incredible. And this game as well, Vertex was like harassing Quang a lot um, around his base. Quang did get this C at 6 o'clock, which probably helped him. And then when he just pushed out, he just overwhelmed Vertex, and there's nothing Vertex
Hmm.
could do. But yeah, that was an interesting game as well.
It looks like Quang's map is safe for that game.
Yeah,
It was pretty safe, but like one thing to note is that, well, first he was a Syrian, so he didn't have access to the slingers. And also his stones were pretty front. So there was a time like Vertex was harassing him, and he kept him away from the stones. And if he had continued doing it, that he would have been able to push through the walls that Quang had, and maybe got
This,
a
of
kill
course,
from
was the
his
Conti
enemies.
game, perhaps the highlight of the highlights, if you will, of this set.
Yes, obviously. Very long game, very fun one.
Yeah, this one was like every few minutes, it was like outcome would come to mind.
Hmm.
Yeah, for me, this is probably one of the best ever games I've seen 1v1. It was so intense, and it wasn't clear for a while what the outcome was going to be. Vertex, I thought he was going to make more cav, but he just kept persisting with swordsmen, and a lot of them were getting picked off by the CA, but the swordsmen were just all over, harassing, picking off kills themselves, and
Yeah,
but lots of twists and turns in this game for sure.
I thought Quang had this game won times, and yet didn't.
It was a constant back and forth. Like I remember seeing the chat, people saying, "No, Bertus got it." Now KT, Quang has it. Now Bertus got this. Now, like the constant battle, it was clear that we cannot see. They were really trying their best to
Yeah,
get the win.
and also the C control did change a couple of times in this game as well. So it wasn't like um, one player took control of the C and that was it. Quang did make a comeback on the C, and then when things settled down a bit, Vertex also then went back on the C, and so there was definitely, yeah, it was unpredictable. But yeah, for
What
the
a
record,
game!
it definitely wasn't KT that was playing in this game.
It was not KT for sure. No, we don't see any towers in here.
Yeah, Vertex obviously played for C this game, and at the expense of land, and it doesn't always pay off. This game it did though.
Like it was like a back and forth because Vertex won the sea, then Quang got the land.
Yeah,
So then Quang went back to the sea, and then his Vertex started to get the land. Like it was, they were they were taking turns for the
oh
territory.
man, I remember this Oasis game. Just kept wearing him on that shoulder at 8 o'clock. That's what won the
Yeah,
game. He just kept striking there, and Quang never walled it. He never defended it properly.
yeah, Vertex exploited that spot to the limit.
I remember Andy Bud's Empire
Hmm.
all over that in the chat. Oh, excuse me, no, he was co-casting that game.
Yeah, he's focusing. He's right there in the game with you. I know with Morek.
Yes, yeah, we had a 3. I think I was on my phone for that parts of this cast that way. Most of this game, though, it was highly, highly, highly competitive. But just the last 5 minutes or so, Quang were out there at that spot.
Those slingers at the age, man.
Yeah, this is an absolute sling fest, wasn't it? Sling
Hmm.
festival.
Yeah. How many barracks did I just see there? It's like ridiculous.
Like at this point, I think they get like 10 or 8. We're starting. Like I don't even see it weird anymore.
So yeah, that was
50.
Quang Vertex and Bongo Cool.
I think Bongo, like he got 1 point, but that point was really worth it. Like he did pretty good in that game.
Yeah, no, I agree. He bullied him hard in game 2 to the point where, Cool was blaming his neighbors.
He was blaming his neighbors. Why?
Something about they had music on or they were singing loud.
Nah.
I swear to God, it's in the chat. He says it at the end of the game. I don't know. Like at first he pauses it and then he did blame them again before he resigned.
Damn neighbor with their punk.
That's
Yeah,
just a competitor that Cool is, man. He's just losing one game even. It's just like unacceptable. It's got to be someone else's fault.
Starts sniping and shaking and
yeah, this is another game that went iron, and I think by the time it went iron, though, it was kind of Bongo
Yeah,
was definitely had that momentum. He
yeah,
just
Cool was
really,
wasting time, to be frank.
yeah.
Um, Couldn't come back, but he played out the string.
I think Bongo did really well to like weave in some different composition here, like with the towers, the
Yeah,
Legion, the Helopolis, even his Vils are helping out.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's using everything, like all the tools that the Syrians provide.
Exactly.
Yep, definitely diversified well.
And there
Showed he was
was,
very worthy of being Cool's, adversary in that round, but just Cool
yeah,
ended up obviously being too strong for him.
yeah, exactly. He played, Cool played the last games, I think, quite aggressively.
Yeah,
I think he wanted to take an early. This last game was very back and forth, though.
yeah. He had a textbook transport rush in this game. If you want to know how to transport rush on islands,
Hmm.
go back to that game and watch what
Oh,
Cool
sorry,
did.
yeah, yeah.
Build order, click time, everything you need.
And actually, like in
Yes.
that game, I was expecting something similar to what I did, like spamming Axeman or spamming Bowman just to get everything out. He had the C, so he had the resources, but Cool did a very good job getting him off the wood for a good time.
Yeah. And he even went the wrong way to start with.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I know. Yeah,
yeah,
imagine if he went the right way by luck, he would have. The game would have been 5 minutes shorter.
Even
yeah.
deadlier, huh? Let's prove
But
that he was not sniping.
but like Casey said, that was a very textbook landing, 9 minutes 55 seconds, two villagers, three clubmen with the upgrade coming
Hmm.
in very, very soon after he landed. And then, when your opponent's going bigger on the sea, um, a few axemen and then a paint is just, yeah, it can potentially decimate. I mean, Bongo did have
Yeah,
a get down archery range, but um, he's having to run his villagers very soon, and
yeah.
as soon as Cool
And
sniffs him out, he's like going nuts all over him. But Bongo
Cool
did
got the quick
quite,
barracks down so
yeah,
that when he did get those archers, he had slings coming for the adjustment. So
yeah,
got to play
exactly.
chess, not checkers. Did exactly that here. He was ready for that. Yeah, this was a rout. This game, Mongo was not expecting that. I don't think.
The last
Got
game,
caught with his pants down.
yeah, the last game, it always amazes me how Cool is one of these players that, despite whatever's going on, his eco is always rocking in some way. He's always
Hmm.
managing to keep a good economy behind anything he's doing. Um,
Yes. Yeah, that's
It's a
cool in a nutshell. Like no matter, he's such a good multitasker that you think you're keeping up with him, but behind the scenes he's running circles around you. Don't
It's
even know
funny
it.
because I remember that I thinking that Bongo had a lot of advantage here because the sea was like on his side, and Cool was pretty far from it. So I said, yeah, cool, Bongo's got this. And later on, like he moves his TC like in the video, and Cool is like, yeah, give me some of that, man.
yeah, but credit to Bongo. He did play well. I think he played like exceptional in game two, and I think on another day he could have got one or two more wins. It could have been,
Yeah,
3-3, and the lot could have been a final deciding game. You never know.
it's like Cool ran out of stone there. He's like, oh shit.
He did.
That's definitely what happened there. He puts the market down. He couldn't get that dock, but and yet still won it. A player Cool is. Memo's gonna have his hands full, but we'll get to that.
And the final game to review is the semi-final, and then we can talk about the prediction for tomorrow or how we feel about tomorrow, and then anything else, and then I think we can wrap things up.
Yeah. Black Waltz Vertex, I believe I casted most of maybe certainly not all of it, but I was Team Vertex in the prediction column. Like I thought he would just be a little bit better. Certainly when it went to game 6, I thought he would force a game 7, but no, Black Waltz figured him out and beat him 3 times straight to set. One thing I noticed along with Memo while casting this is there was a couple games where Vertex fell behind on HC. I don't know how that happened to a player like Vertex, but I think like that ended up being a factor. Meaning that it wasn't Vertex best day, because I think on his best day he would not fall behind on HC.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's why he lost. He just wasn't himself, or either that or Black Bolt's got in his head.
Do you think that maybe? I mean, I know Vertex is exceptional. Has exceptional skill with microing his units. Do you think there was maybe some over micro? Maybe there was a little bit. I don't know. Maybe not. But
From
maybe he was
Vertex,
focusing on the
or
unit so much that just let the economy slip a little bit. I don't know.
could be
Yeah, it's fair.
like believe it or not, despite the experience of these players, getting a tournament can also get them nervous because Black Walls, when he was literally requesting for help in a group of Brazil. Like, hey, I want to practice 1v1s. I want to practice 1v1. He requested to practice with me as well. Like everyone was. He was taking it seriously. So
Yeah.
maybe that could be like a scenario that he was the competitiveness of these games changes the mentality.
Yeah. And I think
Well,
for
also, go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was just gonna say, I think for Black Waltz, oh yeah, so I can see that okay, so yeah, you said that he was way too aggressive, just need to shut it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
I think like for Black Waltz going down in both of his sets, it must be a very big confidence boost to come back and win in a tournament where there's definitely some apprehension maybe with some players, and it's kind of getting more spotlight. And yeah, I think definitely from coming down is good experience and coming back and winning the set.
I think it was not only aggression that did Vertex in, but also greed. I don't think he like painted properly. He tried to get too close to Black Waltz, like each time, especially those last couple games. And Black Waltz just was able to find him, and Vertex would have just been less greedy and build his paint a few tiles away. I think he could have been more successful, but he tried to get right on Black Waltz, and Black Waltz is like not having it. Those last couple games when Vertex was doing those axe rushes.
Yeah.
Again, no shame in losing the Black Waltz. Vertex is going to lose too much sleep at night. Showed you how strong he is. I think also Vertex knows he didn't play his best. I don't know if it makes it easier or worse for him. Like I said, falling behind on HC, that has nothing to do with Black Waltz. Like he's not doing that to Vertex. Vertex just not performing for whatever reason. Maybe it was psychological warfare. Maybe Black Walt's power got in his head and he's thinking about shit instead of fucking pressing HC. Who knows? Only he knows.
This when I was watching the highlights of this, I thought you made a mistake, Alberto. I thought, oh, why have you uploaded a team game? Because I saw like 8 people. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? But
It's
yeah,
a bit of a gangbang lineup there in the scoreboard.
Yeah, everyone wanted to see that game.
yeah, massive games.
Oh my god, they're gonna be wiped. Those
Black Waltz just
visitors.
brought it, man. He's very worthy of being in the championship.
Oh, and that
Yes.
last game, like
Yeah.
that crossing was such a killing blow for Vertex so many times.
Yeah, this was the clinching game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This crossing was contested for pretty much the whole game, and Vertex had most of the sea control on that, but the slings just kept rocking back and forth a bit.
Yeah, and
Right.
when Bertus got a little advantage and that crossing just magically opened up, he couldn't catch a break at any moment.
I love how the elephant's just like chilling there the whole time.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna yeah, let you talk about tomorrow's game. How are you feeling for it?
It's the
Yeah,
one
this
cool versus
cool
memo, right?
now. Yeah, so this is one of those matchups that when you get tournaments like this, sometimes the final isn't the like peak matchup. Sometimes it happens in the semifinals and that final four. And no offense to Black Bolts at all. Obviously, we just got done talking how strong he is, but Cool and Memo in the semifinals, to me, this is could be, I should say, the highlight of the tournament. We'll see how it plays out, but the range of outcomes in this matchup is just insane. Like both players are so good that Memo could 4-0 Cool, Cool could 4-0 Memo, or they can go 7 games. It's like I don't know who you pick and how many games for this series.
I don't
Yeah.
expect to be 4-0. Like I don't expect a 0 from either player. Like both of them are pretty strong, and none of them seem to be losing any skill anytime soon. So they're definitely gonna get
For
a
sure,
lot
yeah.
of
Very
strength
unlikely there's a
tomorrow.
sweep either way. Yeah. Never know, man. Like when these players gets on a roll, like good luck stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're both very, very smart players. Memo
Yeah.
is definitely very strategically smart. Obviously, he's got very good micro skills, but he's also very, from what I've seen, very smart in the decisions he makes. Cool plays the game like everything makes everything look easy. When he's
Yeah,
under
I know.
pressure, he somehow knows the right things to do.
Yeah.
And I know it's so like an obvious thing to say, but it's like for a lot of, we
Uh,
talked about the game being unforgiving, and a lot of people will struggle in so many situations, cool faces, but he just has the art form to
yeah.
deal with a lot of shit that gets
It
thrown at him.
really is an art, man, his ability to just deal with problems. When I've talked to friends who are familiar with real time strategy and know that I stream, and I talk about Cool, I'm just like, man, this guy, like, he's so good at dealing with problems that he didn't even know were there. And then once they are there, he the right solution for it
Yeah,
almost every time.
yeah.
He's a fucking
Yeah.
cyborg.
Yeah, in a moment like that, like there's really nothing you can do. Like trying to make it, hoping for a mistake from him or getting him distracted is gonna be very hard. Like you messed up, man. Yeah, there's
Alberto's
no
like, I'm
going back.
speaking from experience, guys.
Yeah, you can go. There's no turning back. Like everything going downhill from here.
Yeah. Snowballing you real quick with Cool. Once he gets that edge, like he's a machine. So like how do you keep up a machine that has an edge?
Yeah. So, guys, I think that's pretty much covered every single game in the whole tournament.
You guys want to go on record with a prediction for Memo versus Cool, one by one? Start with you, Jesse, Mr. Host.
I wanted to avoid giving a prediction, to be honest with you, but you put me on the spot.
First, we all do.
I'm gonna say, this is tough. I think
know,
it's
man. It's
gonna
impossible.
possibly be Memo on a 4-2, 4-3.
Oh.
Oof, oof, ooey.
My head says Cool. My heart says Memo because we're bros. I'm gonna say Memo because I don't know. I saw some cool getting flustered versus Bongo. I mean, you're losing a game and you're blaming your neighbors. One has to worry like what's going on upstairs. Like, if Memo frustrates him, is Cool gonna be able to keep his cool, for lack of a better term, and hold up? Like, I don't know. I think Memo can get to him. So I know people are gonna think it's a cop out because they know me and Memo are homies, but I will go with Memo. I don't know how many games. I don't know if that matters, but I will go. I will go with Memo too.
We should throw a party at Cool's neighbor house so that he can't play.
And
Yeah, I think.
Albert, don't think you're gonna get let off the hook, mate. Come on.
Yeah, he tried to distract us with his, lemon party joke, but nah, bro.
Yeah, like I also can't have a real decider. Like I know both players are pretty strong. I want to go for Memo too, like, but it's definitely not gonna be like an easy win. So I think probably 4-3 for Memo as well.
Wow. And see, now that's interesting because Cool, Jesse, you can confirm this. We did like pulled 6 people to obtain the seeding. It was the number 1 seed for all except one. I won't say who. I know who, but I won't say. But yeah, so this is the unanimous number 1 seed player getting swept out in picks. People picking the opposition, the 3 seed Memo. So interesting. The others are making the same observation. They saw some weakness in the Cool psyche.
It's definitely a absolutely huge match, and like you said, it probably could have been the final.
Gargantuan.
But actually, do you know what? I actually think that I'm not going to think more about that because we are where we are, and these two titans are going to face off, and then whoever's victorious will meet the up and coming star of the tournament, Black Waltz, who's already dispatched some very, very strong competition. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
Black Wolf is going to be watching intently, scouting out his next opponent, that for sure. And to Unrestricted's point in the chat, Cool's in an excellent position here that make us, all 3 of us, look like dipshits because he's insanely strong, and yet not one of us picked him. So we're setting ourselves up, but so be it. If we're wrong, we're wrong.
Cool, guys. All right. Well, Alberto, do you want to give any sort of sneak preview about anything you might be planning, or too early for that?
Well, we can discuss it a little bit. You can tell me what you think.
Okay, well, I've
So,
actually got a tournament game in RTR in like 8 minutes, so if we've
True.
got like
okay.
2 minutes left to wrap things up, and then yeah, that would be a nice thing to finish on. And actually, just before we do that, I'd like to say thank you to Casey for being like the conductor, bringing a lot of people together to make things possible, and yeah, just being really like doing a lot of amazing work behind the scenes, and obviously with casting as well. And it's been really, really good working with you. And Alberto, just to say thank you, big thank you to you for all the work you've done for the tournament. You make so much great
Yeah,
content, and you're
absolutely.
really keeping this game like presented in a really great way. And the fact that we've got VODs and you've organized them all on the YouTube channel is absolutely amazing, and we really appreciate it, man. So thank you.
Sir, like I said, Albert, you've been doing God's work with that, having everything there on your channel for posterity. And yes, thanks for the kind words. Kind words, Jesse. We'll let you run and do your thing.
No worries, man.
Yeah,
Well, Alberto, did you want to mention a couple of things, and then we'll finish off there?
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, well, like I said, we're planning like the next tournament idea that we had was gonna be full Mediterranean. It's gonna be a 2 against 2, like 3 teams in a 2v2. And we decided to call. I wanted to call it like the battle for the Bermuda Triangle or something like that. And you can see how that's gonna go, like 2v2v2, and try to get 2 points from each team. That would be like the gist of it.
Nice. It sounds fun. Sounds a lot of fun, and we can find out some more details and try and make that possible. Yeah, sounds good, man.
Yeah, we need to iron out the detail for sure.
Yeah. But no, it's all good. And thanks for your time today, both of you. In case you had to go, yeah. Otherwise we're gonna wrap
Mhm.
things up anyway, I think.
All
Okay,
right.
he's jumped
Well,
off the voice chat. Okay, all right, mate. Take care of yourself, yeah, and we'll speak soon.
yeah. Take care. See ya.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and hope you enjoyed it.